If you only knew the power of the dark side.
Alright, here we are on the Cursed Hollow. Let's take a quick look at the teams before we begin. On the blue team, we have Gazlo, Brightwing, Tychus, Sergeant Hammer, and Vala. The red team with Vala, Tassadar, Kerrigan, Kalthus, and Malfurion. So the enemy team is going to have a lot more damage burst potential, and we have a little bit more on the specialist side. So we'll see how things work out today. The other issue with this team comp is that I'm playing Tychus as requested, and I just bought him right now. I mean, I've played him before as a free hero, but he is not one of my favorite heroes to play. So that being said, let's get into the build that I use with Tychus, which I think is a pretty common one here. Level 1, we're going to be picking up armor-piercing rounds. So now when I use my Q ability, it's going to do additional damage to the primary target. So his Q is called Overload. It basically shoots, it's kind of sprays in a cone damage, and you can move while shooting. This is basically your auto attack. Let's go ahead and, you know what, let's step back here. His W ability is a grenade. You throw it, and it will kind of displace people a little bit. But we can use our Q here on Vala, and as we're shooting her, we'll also deal damage to all these minions in the area. His auto attack takes a little bit of time to get warmed up, so you don't really use it all that often, or I wouldn't suggest it unless you're using it on a NPC or something that's standing still. Now, the thing with this grenade is that depending on where you throw it, it's going to push people back or forward, so it's a really good disengage, or it also works well to secure those kills. Let's start using up our Q, our Overload on the enemy Vala, but we are going to have to step back. His E ability is Running Gun. The purpose of it is to dash forward and then wind up your minigun, your auto attack, but I generally only use it as an escape because Tychus needs any and everything he can get to help his survivability. It feels like his minigun winds up a lot faster than it used to. I don't know if that's me or what, but let's see. We're just gonna kind of play it safe right now as I'm getting a little used to our buddy Tychus here. We'll throw out our Q here, just try to deal as much damage to the minion wave here, clear this stuff out and push back that lane. Then we can throw out our W, deal a little bit of damage, and then just step back as we are getting pretty much annihilated. Tychus is a super, super squishy hero. Basically, the type of talents that I usually pick for him are anything that will help me increase my survivability. I would like to play him more, however, to try to come up with a build to get him to output more damage without having to sacrifice so much survivability that will die all the time. So we're coming down here, and we're just continuing to lane against this Vala. I'm just going to try to clear up the minions, try to keep them not necessarily even pushed back so far, because I'm not sure Sergeant and Hammer and I are going to be able to do a whole lot here. For level 4, what I'm going to be picking up is the Melting Pot. My frag grenade does bonus damage to minions and structures, so it'll help clear waves a lot faster. We can actually just throw it right there, and it'll do a pretty substantial amount of damage to that minion wave. But the first tribute has spawned, so we are going to head up there. It looks like Vala and Kalthus already hanging out up there. We're going to come in right behind the enemy Vala, use our Q, and we can actually dash forward while using our Overload. Come in here, throw out the grenade, and completely miss it, and then just fall back, as that Vala is doing way more damage to us than we can do to her. We can try to take the tribute just to, pull him out a little bit. However, I don't really want to be that, guys. Throw out the grenade. We do land it. We're going to have to dash away. It looks like as a team, we're doing good. As me, just trying to stay alive. You can see how squishy we are. Let's throw out the grenade right there. We do land it on the enemy Kalthus, but it's not going to land and deal as much damage as we want it to. So let's just clear up this wave real quick while we try to contest this tribute. That way, it's going to push back the enemy team a little bit here. But once they start getting more aggressive, we'll just move back down into here. And let's see if we can actually get the grenade out. Yes, we can. And we'll start overloading on the enemy Kalthus. But we are going to die for trying to chase that kill. Holy crap. This is why I'm not a big fan of Tychus. Enemy Malfurion should really fall here, but unfortunately Gazlo, the only one pursuing that kill, is not going to be able to output enough damage. So we were able to secure that tribute, so we can head back into lane here. I wonder who was down in the bottom lane. Was that a... I can't remember. I'm going to head down to the bottom lane, however, though, because Gazlo's in the middle lane. And up in the top lane, we have Vala, Brightwing, and Sergeant Hammer all up there in the top. So we need to start collecting XP in this bottom lane. We can throw out that grenade. It does a pretty substantial amount of damage with that melting pot. It also does damage over time as you might have noticed right there. And we just completely annihilated that wave. Also does a lot of damage to structures, so we can throw it right there. It's going to do that damage over time, and we might be able to get... Nope. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Enemy Kelthus is showing up, and the next tribute has spawned. So let's just start making our way up there. Come down through the bushes here and pick up our level 7 talent. Right now, things are going A-okay. I'm going to be picking up first aid. Like I said, I need to do anything I can to keep Tychus alive at this point. I'm going to throw down the melting pot in that minion wave to help clear it up. And then let's just engage on the enemy Tychus a little bit here. I think he's actually not really in the best position to tank me out. Oh, holy crap, wrong button. Let's throw out the grenade. We are not going to get the kill because I hit tab there, unfortunately. I really thought my finger position was much better than that. However, we were able to secure that second tribute, so it all worked out in the end. But yeah, these are just mistakes that honestly, like, that should have been a kill that I should have been able to secure without a doubt. So good Tychus players are probably watching, doing the whole face palm right now, like, what is this guy doing? What is he doing? Let's just back up a little bit here, push this lane back, try to avoid Kelthus's flame strike, and then engage on him. That Tassadar is going to be a pain to deal with in the early game. As the late game shows up, his shields aren't as substantial as they are early on in the game, but not to say they're not good. But let's go ahead and throw down the melting pot, get hit by the flame strike, and then just use our Q on this enemy Kelthus. His shield is off, so we do get trapped in the Kelthus's whatever, gravity labs. That's what it's called. Let's go ahead and throw down the grenade. Unfortunately, I knew it was not a good position for the grenade after I had already thrown it. But what are you going to do? We'll just kind of hang back out here, and let's engage on the enemy Tassadar, push him back a little bit, and there we go. We're just completely clearing up that lane. No big, ain't no thing. We do still have our first aid as well, so I'm in a pretty good spot right now. The enemy Kelthus, however, he's got very low health. I want to throw out that grenade, and that will secure the kill. Nice. We got the grenade kill. Wonderful. The tribute has spawned, so we do want to get up there and help our friendly team secure that next tribute, as it's going to be our curse. But it looks like they are starting to grab that. So let's go ahead, throw down the grenade on the enemy Kerrigan, use our Q to secure that kill, and see how our Q just continues to go even though we got the kill. I don't know what I'm shooting, but let's go ahead and use our run and gun to speed up. Oh, nope, never mind. Enemy Tassadar is thinking about engaging here. He did a wild Tassadar has appeared in the tall grass. Enemy Tassadar is going to continue to try to poke here, and we're just going to push him back as much as possible without overextending. So we still have not picked up that tribute yet, and this Tassadar is going to put himself way out of position. We're going to use the grenade, unfortunately, not really do what we wanted to do with it, but we do secure that kill just fine. And now I am going to be picking up, oh boy. Now, the Draken Laser Drill is a really great heroic, but on this map, I'm going to go with the Commander Odin. Basically, the Odin is the better heroic if you can stand and do damage in it. It does loads of damage with the Odin. But the problem is you are, you become a very prime target as the Odin. Let's come in here, let's throw out a grenade, bounce that little Kelthus around a little bit, and then let's engage on him with the Q. And I'm actually going to push forward, and we should be able to secure that kill just fine. I'm going to pop first aid here, and then just fall back, because we don't want to fall to Vala's damage. But we were able to take out that Kelthus, so things are going all right. Enemy Vala is doing whatever she can, clear up some of these minions. And then I'm just going to actually back off and head up to the middle lane. We have 20 seconds left on our curse, so there's plenty of time to deal some damage here. And maybe I can even get some heals from our friendly Brightwing. We don't want to stand in that, however. That's certainly not going to get us back up to health. Let's go ahead and use our Q. Let's just blow this thing down. The enemy team is starting to gather around. We're going to throw out that grenade so that that minion wave dies because the curse is ending here in a second. Didn't want to waste any time making sure that those guys got taken care of. Looks like the friendly team does want to go and pick up some bruiser camps. At least Sergeant Hammer does, or Vala. Looks like Vala wanted to pick up the bruiser camp, so I'll come down and help her out. I don't really want to tank it, though, in all honesty. Let's go ahead and throw out the grenade, which didn't really work real well with Sergeant Hammer's, with her napalm strike, so that's unfortunate. But we'll be all right. We are now level 13, so what I'm going to be picking up is Lead Rain. Basically, my Q is going to slow targets now, making it a lot easier to pursue and chase them. Let's come in here, throw down the melting pot. It is going to get Vala to step back a little bit here, but now that Kerrigan's around, I don't want to get too close to that, as Kerrigan would be able to blow me up pretty easily. What are we doing here, guys? I mean, let's come down here and gank these two, I say. That would probably not be too bad of an idea, as they're starting to overextend a little bit and push pretty hard on our tower. So we're going to come down in here, we're going to throw out the grenade, use our overdrive on Kelthus, burning through the shield, and the Gazlo heroic is going to come out, and we may be able to kill this guy, but we can't. Come on, let's throw out the grenade. All right, we get a little bit of damage off on him, but I don't think it's worth chasing the kill. Certainly not worth chasing the kill there. Oh boy, if only I was a little bit better at you, Tychus. If only I was a little bit better. So basically, I haven't really been able to exercise this due to my own problems here, but his grenade is so super valuable. It's probably my favorite ability that he has as far as basic abilities. Because what you can do is if you throw it in front of somebody, it'll push them back closer to you. If you throw it right behind them, it'll push them away from you. So it works really well to get people to disengage from you. You can throw it right there and see how the enemy Kelthus was pushed a little bit closer to us. I'm going to just kind of hang back here. It looks like the Power Blast is coming out. I don't want to be involved in that. Any additional damage there. But yeah, perhaps we should go. Let's just go ahead and throw a grenade there. It's going to push him back just a little bit. Doesn't have a huge impact, but honestly, it can have enough of an impact to either save your life or gain that kill. So the placement of where you put your grenade is extremely important. The next tribute is spawning, so we are going to start heading up here and setting up camp to hopefully ambush the enemy team. I'm going to come here, and a wild Tychus is going to appear as soon as that enemy team shows up. Maybe we'll even get a chance to use our Odin. That would be the dream. Let's go ahead and throw out the grenade, use our Q on the enemy Kelthus, and I think we should be able to. Yes, we are able to get that kill. Man, there's like no reason to use the Odin because, oh man. Okay, enemy Tassadar has distracted me from getting that Vala kill, but I think, oh! Oh! How is that even possible? How is that even possible? All right, we're trying to chase down the kill on Vala, but I hit all of the wrong buttons. This is going terrible. This is going completely awful. I mean, I know this is my first game of the day, but honestly, I've never had such issues pressing the same buttons I press in every single game. So we did miss out on chasing down that Vala kill. Not that I would suggest ever chasing too far for a. Yes, Gazlo is pretty strong on this map. I really would like to take the boss, as I know the enemy team is really backed up right now. We're just going to use our Q and kind of kite it around as much as possible. I'm going to use my first aid, and then we'll just sit here and we'll just auto-attack it for a little bit. Actually, the melting pot... Uh-oh. All right, we're going to back off a little bit here. I think, actually, I'm just going to pop into the Odin. I really want to make sure... It does change all your ability sets up here, so we're going to throw out our W, which is going to do a bunch of damage on impact. He also has a auto attack that does a lot more damage. See if we can catch up to this guy here. Throw out the W. It's not going to get any damage. And then your E ability works the same as your E ability outside of the Odin. It just dashes you forward. Which I just remembered at this point here. So not a very useful Odin, but it certainly did scare off the enemy team a little bit. Val is using her strafe, so we are going to disrupt her with the grenade. Disrupt her with the grenade. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. Button placement is terrible today. When you have an enemy that is using a heroic that can be disrupted by moving them, your grenade does a great job of it. So that was a poor execution. For level 16, I'm going to be picking up... yeah. Let me think about it. I would normally pick up Stone Skin. Let's go ahead and pick up Stone Skin. We're kind of coming in behind the enemy team, which is very dangerous. We're going to engage on the enemy Vala here. Throw out our grenade. And strafe away, pop Stone Skin, and now they're chasing us. But hopefully we can get that tribute, as a lot of the enemy team is chasing me down right now. Come on, you get back up. Nope. We're going to throw out our grenade. Down there for some reason. The enemy Kerrigan is contesting the tribute. We still have not got it, even though 4 members of the enemy team chased me down to my death. So that's really unfortunate to find out that... that my sacrifice was completely in vain because of one Kerrigan holding off the rest of the team here. I don't know why Gazlo's not setting up. Perhaps he wasn't at the tribute. He was maybe doing other things. But yeah, usually as a Gazlo, you just want to put these turrets all around the tribute area, which also disrupts the enemy team from being able to cap it, because those tributes will keep attacking. Enemy Vala is strafing again here. It doesn't look like she's going to be able to do much damage with that strafe. And we are actually going to come back to life here. think that was our second death. So in a match like this where things are going so well, 2 deaths is not cool. It's not cool at all. I will hang out right here. Nope, I'm gonna go down for this Tychus. He is way out of position, all by his lonesome, at least from what it appears. So we're gonna come down here and ruin his day. Completely miss the grenade, and then put our Q on him, and then just avoid that gravity lapse now that we're not playing terrible, and just blow him up. I mean, he knows he's dead. He does. He was just trying to deal as much damage to our fort as possible. And he was actually able to deal enough damage to take out our bottom fort, but I think we'll live without it. I do think picking up the boss here would be a fantastic move, as 2 members of the enemy team were just down. Looks like Tychus is the only one down now. But the tribute is spawning, so the enemy team is going to be showing up here. We really need to just work this thing down as fast as possible. The one nice thing about Tychus's auto attack is that the longer you stand and do it, the faster it attacks. So it looks like they're just going to completely give us this tribute, and we're going to get the boss and the curse at the same time. So why the enemy team decided to just give us the curse, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just because they were down so many people. Perhaps they're just giving up on the game. But I mean, they're not far behind in levels. They're only a level behind at the moment, so I don't know why they wouldn't, why they would wait to engage. Let's go ahead and just try to stay in good positioning here. We can hopefully catch the enemy. Tychus. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. And then I'm actually just going to drop in the Odin right here because the enemy team is going to be trying to defend against this boss. And we can just sit out here and do a ton of damage to him with auto attacks and our W. I mean, it does a bunch of damage here. We'll start focusing on the enemy Vala. A nice gravel bomb by Gazlo. Throw out that Q. And now we need to pop our stone skin and our first aid to stay alive. As you can see, when you're in the Odin form, you are like a prime target to be attacked. But I think this should win us the game here. We'll just help the boss push right up to the core. Win. Level 20's here, so what I would probably pick up is either Bolt of the Storm or Big Red Button. Let's go ahead and pick up Big Red Button even though the game's over. What that does is it adds nukes to your heroics, so when you jump into the Odin, you're just able to do way more damage with your missiles, basically. A good game by everybody. I mean, we were top hero damage on our team, I guess. And, you know, we did... actually, I mean, we did more siege damage than Gazlo in that game. We had more XP contribution. We were really high up there, which is surprising to me. The enemy Vala was just above us in siege damage. She did do quite a bit more hero damage than us, and then XP contribution, we were #1. So I guess for that game particularly, we did fairly well. It didn't feel too challenging to me, however, so we were a little bit lucky on that point. Let's go ahead and just talk over his talents real quick here. The armor piercing rounds, so it just increases damage to the primary target a little bit, but that's really what you want. As the game progresses, you're not using it as much for AoE damage as much as you are as your primary source of damage. The W ability, we did a really poor job making use of this. His melting pot, or his grenade, is it's really strong. Using it to displace heroes, to interrupt ultimates, and then with this talent, the melting pot, you're able to do a lot more structural damage, which we just didn't really utilize all too much. First aid, you know, obviously that kept us alive several different times. And then the Odin is really, you really can't go wrong with his heroics. The Draken laser drill is really good for zoning people out. So, I mean, I could have used that on this map to place it down on a tribute, and it basically just deals damage to whoever you aim it at. But the Odin will do significantly more damage as long as you can sit in it and not get blown up. The only problem with it is once you jump in your Odin, any good enemy team will immediately either disengage far enough that you can't deal damage to them, or they are going to focus you down first. And since your health pool is so small, even in the Odin, you don't get any health bonus or anything with the Odin. So, I mean, if you have 20% health and you jump into your Odin, you're dead. I mean, as long as anyone can touch you, you are going to die. So it's very important that your team is able to protect you and that you're not in a position where you can be killed in a few hits, which anything under 50% health for Tychus is pretty much doable to take him out quickly. Lead Rain, applying the slow, that just helps you secure those kills by making sure the enemy that you're using your Q ability on is not able to run away. Stone Shield, another survivability tactic, and then of course the big red button. I think if you're having a hard time, if you feel a lot of pressure from the enemy team, go for Blink though, or Bolt of the Storm I should say. But this one will just add more damage to your heroic. So, I mean, if you're doing good, if your team's protecting you well, this is going to give you more damage. Me, personally, I try to avoid any talents that have anything to do with his auto attack. I just don't think his auto attack is very good, other than clearing camps, killing bosses, stuff like that. But you just don't have enemies standing still so that you can wind up your auto attack to start doing damage. But yeah, so there's Tychus there. I hope that helps. You know, I'll try to play him some more. Maybe I'll even come up with a build of my own. This is a pretty generic one that a lot of people use. It's the one I see most Tychus players using. So since I don't have enough experience to really show off my own build for him, I wanted to go over this one here. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I look forward to talking to you all again next time.